Hello boys and girls, and welcome back to the channel for this week's safety recap. Before we get started, make sure that you give me a thumbs up down below here to encourage me to make more videos of this type. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel where you'll find additional videos of this nature, toolbox safety topic videos, and leadership training videos. Plus, if you find value in this video, make sure you share it. All right, let's go ahead and get started with this week's safety recap. First of all, thanks to all who welcomed me onto their job sites this past week. I observed high levels of professionalism combined with a cohesive safety consciousness. Please continue to do the good work, being the good example for others to emulate. Good job. Now, there were a few items of note of concern, and I will address them after a few words about accountability. I read an article in Inc. by Gordon Tredgold, and I'd like to share it with you. The article is entitled 7 Truths About Accountability That You Need to Know. Number 1. Accountability starts with you. Leadership defines culture, and if you want to create a culture of accountability, then it starts with you. You need to model the behaviors that you want to see in your organization. If you want people to take ownership, then you have to be seen to take ownership. When you make commitments, you have to be seen to meet those commitments. If you don't, then why should anyone else be interested in doing so? You have to walk the talk if you want others to follow you down the road of accountability. Number 2, you are accountable. As the leader, you are accountable. You're accountable for any failures as well as any successes that your organization may have. Accountability comes as a part of the job description, which is why if you try to duck it, it will have a negative impact on the levels of accountability that already exist. Number 3, accountability is not a one-time thing. Accountability is not a one-time, sometime thing. It's an all-time thing. Those people who don't want to be accountable or held accountable are always looking for any opportunities to get out of it. Any slips or gaps in your accountability will give them the out they need to only be accountable when they see fit. You need to be seen to be as being accountable at all times. Number 4, accountability applies to one and all. When you're looking to hold people accountable, you cannot play favorites. You cannot let it slide with some people. Accountability has to be consistently requested of everyone at all times. If you choose to let one person ignore their accountabilities, then it opens the door for others to be selectively accountable too. Number 5, accountability cannot be delegated. You cannot delegate accountability. Accountability is something that has to be accepted for that person to feel accountable and to have them take ownership. The best way to get people to accept accountability is to set them up to be successful. No one is going to take ownership and show accountability for something they know or believe is going to fail. If you want people to accept accountability, ask them if they have everything they need to be successful. When they say yes, they have taken a big step towards being accountable. If they say no, then you need to make sure you provide whatever is missing, because without it, they will never accept accountability. Number 6, accountability is the difference between success and failure. When people don't take accountability and things start to go awry, as they don't feel ownership, they go into spectator mode and watch as things fail. If they thought it would fail from the onset, it's even worse. Then they go into the I told you so mode, which nearly always becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Whereas when people take ownership, if things start to go wrong, then they step into the solution mode. They start to try and figure out what's going wrong and try to fix it. Teams that are successful are full of people that go into solution mode. They are full of people who not only care, but take care. In my experience, accountability is the single biggest differentiator between successful and unsuccessful teams. Number 7, you have to hold people accountable. You can't just tell people they're accountable and then leave them to it. Yes, it may work for some, but not for all. You need to set up review sessions. You have to check in and see how people are doing. This serves 3 purposes. It lets them know that they will be held accountable for the activities. It gives you an opportunity to provide support in case things start to go awry. It offers you the opportunity to offer praise and encouragement to move people further if things are going well. Accountability is something that has to be worked at. There has to be a clear and consistent strategy on how it's going to be implemented and validated. It starts with you, and it has to apply at all times to everyone. When you can do that, it will help you create a culture of accountability where the organization will start to hold itself and others accountable, which will have a massive impact on performance and results. All right, on with the recap. Let's talk about scissor lifts and fall protection. The use of personal fall protection, or PFP, is required while working from scissor lifts. The shortest lanyard without a shock absorber or a self-retracting lanyard should be used. Anchor points used are to be the ones engineered into the scissor lift and identified by a label by the manufacturer. Let's talk about dry sweeping and respirable silica dust exposure. Dry sweeping under the OSHA Silica Standard Table 1 is prohibited. Use sweeping compound, water, or a combination of the two when sweeping. Let's talk about pre-demolition survey and inspection. OSHA requires, when there is to be structural demolition, that a pre-demolition engineering survey is to be performed by a qualified person. However, even in remodel demolition, a complete inspection should be performed to identify any potential hazards such as live utilities, water or fire protection systems, plumbing, unstable construction, etc. Now let's talk about respiratory protection. Individuals wearing respirators while performing tasks must have a pulmonary physical, be fit tested, and properly trained to use a respirator. If the employee is involved with torching, welding, lead removal, etc., they must have blood lead level and ZPP tests. Respirators must be kept and stored in a clean and sanitary condition. All right, boys and girls, that's it for this week's safety recap. Thanks for stopping by, and thanks for watching. Make sure you give me a thumbs up down below here to encourage me to make more videos of this type. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel where you'll find additional videos of this nature, toolbox of safety topic videos, and leadership training videos. And until we see each other again, take care of yourself because you're number one. Look out for your co-workers and help ensure their safety. Have a grateful day, and remember, I will see you in the field. All right, I'm going to do a take 2 here. I flubbed up the other one pretty good. I want to see if I can do it a better time. Call that first one practice and call this one the real take. Anyway, let's do a sound check and get this party started. 1.
Leadership defines culture, and if you want to create a culture of accountability, then it starts with you. You need to model the behaviors that you want to see in your organization. If you want people to take ownership, then you have to seem to take ownership. When you want... God dang it, man. I'm having a hard time. Alright, we're gonna do it now. Accountability starts with you. You need to be seen as the being accountable. You need to be seen to be as you... The hell? If they say no, then you need to make the shortest lanyard without a short... Let's talk about pre-demolition survey and inspection. Now, OSHA requires that there is to be a should be performed to identify any Now let's talk about respiratory protection. Individuals wearing respirators while performing tasks must have a pulmonary physical, be fit tested, and properly trained to use a respirator. If the employee is involved with torching, welding, lead removal, etc., they must have a blood lead level and ZP. Alright, let's do this again. Also, subscribe and share. With...
Alright, that's it. Okay, well, if you watch to the very, very end, I'll drop in a couple Easter eggs. I flubbed up a time or two, and I'll try and edit that out real quick. Anyway, thanks for watching, and have a grateful day, and I'll see you in the field. Stop recording.